Welcome back to Midnight Cult Confessions. Today I'm here with Riley and Michaela, and we are going to be talking about Jonestown. So, you guys want to start us off with the childhood?
Yeah, so, Jonestown was a cult led by Jim Jones, but his name was actually James Warren Jones when he was born, and he was born on May 13th of 1931. So during the Great Depression.
So he is old.
Old.
Very
old. Well, he's dead now, but.
Well, if he was not, you know what?
No. Okay.
Just keep going.
He was born in Crete, Indiana, but not long after he was born, him and his family moved to hold on, I have it written down because I can't remember the name of it. They moved to Lynn, Indiana.
So still in Indiana.
Still in Indiana. They actually, every time they moved, they were like pretty much still in Indiana, just like in different places.
Okay, perfect.
But his mom.
Shout out to everybody in Indiana.
Yeah, shout out. His mom was Lynette Jones, and she was kind of horrible. She was very neglectful.
Like there's a common theme in all the cults we researched. It's always a bad parent.
Yeah. And then his dad was also James Jones, but he was a World War I veteran, and he was actually disabled in the war. So he couldn't really work like normal jobs. So, and like his mom didn't work like whatsoever. So that put a lot of pressure on Jones to like earn money for the family as a kid. So after they moved to Lynn, they were living in like a little shack because Great Depression, and they like
poor,
very poor.
Everybody was poor. Nobody had money.
Yeah, and they relied heavily on like financial support from family members who lived in the area. And his dad actually spent most of the time in the hospital. So his mom ended
Hospitals are not cheap, people. I don't know what it was like in the 30s, but
I don't know.
I should save money. Sorry.
So that actually ended up forcing his mom to get a job. So she ended up getting a job.
Which is uncommon for a woman to be working.
Yeah.
Especially before World War II.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I didn't like find out what like exactly she was doing, but she ended up getting a job, which kind of took the burden off of Jones a little bit. But it did end up leaving him alone a lot of the time during, like, some very important developmental years.
So that also added on to the fact that he's low-key cuckoo in the head.
Yeah. But I will say the people who live in Lynn, Indiana did kind of, like, take him in a little bit. Like, whenever his mom would be gone, they would, like, invite him to stay at their house or, like, and, like, they would feed him and whatnot. So they were really helpful to him. He was just really weird. Hold on, I can't remember her name, but there was one lady who lived in Lynn. She was, like, a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
And
of course, the church.
Oh, Myrtle Kennedy.
The church is making an appearance again.
Mm-hmm. And she took a very big liking to Jones. She took him in, and she actually kind of sparked his like interest in religion and all that, and got him to read the Bible, learn the gospel, and like got him to go to church every weekend. And
moments before disaster.
No, literally.
No offense to like Christians.
No, but so he ended up like kind of like finding an interest in that, and then at some point he ended up spending a lot of time like picking up roadkill and having mock funerals for the animals. Which
3 strikes, you're done. 3 strikes.
So what I'm getting from this is that it's a kind of a little like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. I did note in here that luckily he didn't like dismember the animals like Dahmer did.
Yeah.
But
he
had mock funerals for him.
The cult leaders that we've studied so far are definitely like friends in the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
But they all hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they all think that they're right.
Yeah, and they all kind of low-key believe in different stuff. Like, one of them was, like, aliens. What?
Yeah. Don't know.
The 4...
But, There was actually a few people that reported that they saw him kill a cat, yeah, and then have a mock funeral for him. However, this is not confirmed, but I did read it somewhere.
I know she's struggling. Poor kitty cat.
So maybe we do have that aspect of killing animals, maybe not, because I couldn't see anything that, like, for sure 100% confirmed it.
Definitely believe that he at least at one point killed 1 or 2 animals.
Probably.
I mean, it's not a shock. I mean, from
what
what we know about it and about him, it's not a shock.
No.
I definitely do believe that he probably did kill an animal.
Probably.
Is it confirmed? No.
Possibility? Yes.
Yes.
100%. There was something else I was going to mention.
You got it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Little difficulties.
Hold on.
We got this, guys. I promise we're
we
professionals.
got this. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he, like, convinced himself that he had, like, supernatural abilities, right? So he was convinced he could fly. And he was trying to convince...
How old was he?
I don't know. I think, like, younger. Like, I don't think he was in his teens yet.
Okay.
So, like, younger.
So it's reasonable. I was about to say, if he was, like, 17 years old...
No.
Get that man in a mental institution.
But he was also, like, inspired by people like Stalin, Marx, Gandhi.
Okay, I can see Gandhi.
I can see Gandhi. Not Adolf Hitler.
Not Adolf Hitler.
And this was also, I'm fairly certain that he was in high school. If he was born in 31, brother was in high school, like, during World War II.
Yeah, or, like, a little bit after World War II.
Well, also kind of a mix, because he did graduate in 1948.
Okay, so definitely during World War II. But then again, he would have been, like, wouldn't he have been drafted to war?
No. He was not old enough.
Oh, so he was, like, 16?
Yeah, because if he graduated in 48 at, like, 18, take off, like, 4 years, that's, like...
Don't get that attitude with me.
So he was, like... He was going into freshman year, like, the last year of World War II.
Okay, because
so he was not
stories
old
I be
enough.
hearing, they be drafting anybody and everybody.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it was that young.
Unless he, like, got off of, like, some sort of, like...
I'm pretty sure that most of the people that we hear about that is like, oh, yeah, they were in World War II when they were, like, 16 years old. It's like they, like, faked their age or something.
Yeah.
But don't take my word on that. I could be wrong.
Don't, like... Anyways.
But, yeah, he was extremely interested in, like, the fact that he could, like, keep total control over, like, a large population. Foreshadowing.
I don't see the appeal.
Yeah, no. But this would honestly just, like, make him even more of a social outcast than he already was. So, not great. But one thing about him that, in my opinion, does kind of set him apart from, like, other cult leaders or serial killers that we look at is he was genuinely smart. Like, he was an above-average student. Like, he did really well in school.
A smart person doing and, like, saying the stuff that he said.
Yeah.
Crazy how many people can get drawn into that.
Yeah. Because, like, I feel like a lot, like the Manson family, like we looked at last time, he was more, I guess, like, street smart.
Yeah, not book smart.
Not book smart whatsoever. Jones, book smart.
Book smart.
Book smart.
Book smart.
So he was definitely above average in school. And then, so actually, hold on, if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Also, he was, like, just, like, crazy into religion still at this point. So, like, to the point where, like, he wore his Sunday clothes every day to school. He carried his Bible around everywhere. He was, like, very, like, against smoking, drinking, dancing, partying, because he was, like, that'll damn you to hell. He would try to convince other kids to come, like, read the Bible with him instead of going to parties.
Okay, I'm not fully against that because, as we know, today's, kids are, like, they, they comment on the Bible, they carry the Bible around with them, but they still go out drinking, and like it's like they don't even follow the word that they like to share.
Constantly doing it and trying to get people.
Yeah.
There's a difference between like, hey, you should come to church if you want to, not. But
hey, skip this party. Come read the Bible with me.
Read the Bible right now. There's a difference. So no wonder why he became a cult leader.
Yeah. And then, hold on, I'm having to double check the year. Yeah, so in 1945, his dad and his mom ended up getting divorced. So he moved with his mom to Richmond, Indiana.
So this is like during World War II.
This is the end of World War II.
Yeah.
So.
I'm getting a lot of
okay.
I'm joking.
So he moved with his mom to Richmond, and that's where he would like finish out high school. And he like graduated in 1948. And while in high school, he began working as an orderly at a hospital. Hold on, I have the name of the hospital. It's Reed Hospital in Richmond, Indiana. And a lot of like the people who he worked with said that he would continue to show like very odd behaviors like with the patients and coworkers.
Get that man away from patients.
Yeah.
Get that man away from any medical device.
But this is also where he would meet his future wife, who was in, I think, a nursing program. Her name is Marceline, and I had her last name.
Imagine being married to one of the most famous cult leaders.
Yeah. Okay, I can't find her last name.
Not the best.
But, oh, Marceline May Baldwin. That was her full name before she married Jones.
Perfect.
And then, so he would end up graduating high school in 1948. And then they would get married later in 1949.
So they only took a year.
Yeah. Those are the times.
Hey,
And then, so after they got married, they ended up moving to Bloomington, Indiana. So we're still in Indiana.
they just traveling everywhere around Indiana.
Pretty much. Because I think later they also end up in Indianapolis. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Indianapolis?
Yeah, I think. Anyways, but he started attending Indiana Bloomington or University of Bloomington, but that only lasted like 2 years before he dropped out, and then they moved to I have it right here. They moved to Indianapolis, where he began attending Butler University, which he graduated from in 1951.
Is he training to be a butler or something?
No clue. Don't think so.
Okay, I'm just trying to make a joke.
So I'm just
trying to make a joke.
sassy today.
Do you have anything to comment, Michaela Puckett?
Oh, okay. Last name. No.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, great.
I don't know.
She's here for the looks.
Here for moral support.
Someone's got to be pretty.
I'm kidding. Anyways, in 1952, he would end up joining a Methodist church, which his wife, Marceline, was actually Methodist. But he didn't join the church because he wanted to, like, practice their religion. He more so joined it to, like,
expand on religion or something?
Or more so to, like, get people to believe what he believed. Because, like, he joined it and, like, he got a job with the church, and then he just kind of, like, started spreading his, like, communist, socialist ideals that he got from Hitler.
Of course, Hitler.
So.
Hitler's, like...
Yeah. But he was fired, like, pretty quickly because he was actually stealing from the church. So, didn't last very long from what I read.
Glad he got fired.
Yeah. And then in, I think it's, 1953, he made his way to I'm trying to remember, hold on. A Latter Rain church, which I'll kind of get into what that is in a minute. But he met this lady there, and she called him a great prophet. So,
right,
and then, so he began, like, kind of closely associating himself with a church called, hold on, I have it written down, Independent Assemblies of God, or the IAOG. And they were kind of, like, they embraced, like, the Latter Rain movement, which basically, from what I've read, the latter rain movement is the belief in, like, prophets and spiritual healing and stuff like that.
Why do the most coolest names have to go to the most disrespectful and, like, hateful groups of people?
No clue.
It makes me so mad. It, like, boils my blood.
Yeah. But, what you giggling about?
We are on a serious topic.
They were a very, like, controversial post-World War II movement that kind of popped up, which he very much embraced because, obviously, prophets. He's a prophet, of course, because why wouldn't he be?
One woman's words mean the whole world to him.
Yeah, he heard that and he was like,
I'm sticking with that.
I'm sticking with that.
I'm sticking with that.
That's going to be my life goal.
My title.
Yeah.
Greatest prophet. Good little that guy.
But, so he started, like, running with that crowd, I guess. And there was a very, like, prominent preacher by the name of William Branham, I think is how you pronounce his last name. I could be butchering that. And he was, like, a very, like, big preacher for the latter rain movement. Like, he would have, like, thousands of people at his sermons.
Which is, like we've said in other podcasts, it is so scary how easily people believe stuff like this.
Yes.
Like, there was little to, like, almost no education for half of these people. Wasn't this before, like, women could get schooling?
Yeah, this was before the women's rights movement.
Yeah. And, like, it's just, they're not educated. So, being able to, you can literally go up to somebody and be like, hey, I'm a goat. And they could literally be like, oh my God, are you being for real? And you can go like, yeah. Boom, they believe you that you're a goat now. Boom. It's so like, that's a terrible example. Terrible example. But it just continue.
Okay.
It's just
and so the thing about William Branham, I'm just gonna start calling him William because I'm just gonna keep ruining that last name. He, like, one of his things was he would, like, bring people up on a stage and, like, basically just, like, you're healed. Like, one of those things, which Jones really liked. He really liked the aspect of it. So he kind of started, like, using some of his teaching aspects. And then also, one very small thing I will give Jones credit for is he did believe in racial equality.
Pop off. Only good thing he did right in his life.
Yeah.
Still not good though.
No. But it is something that he believed in, and that's actually kind of one of the things that made him really popular and got a lot of people to start joining his church. And originally his church was named I think it was
I'm actually surprised a bunch of people joined his church after they found out he believed in racial equality.
Oh yeah, sorry. It was called Jones Church.
Okay, perfect. Because a lot of people were, like, racist and hated black people, and that's surprising that a bunch of people joined when they heard about that. Was it?
This was a very weird era because obviously it was before the civil rights movement. So, like, some people you would meet would be, like,
secretly, like,
against segregation.
Yeah.
But then, like, it was kind of like a coin toss with people.
You didn't know what you were gonna get.
Didn't really know, like, kind of which side they were gonna fall on.
Yeah.
So,
But wouldn't such a church, like, create problems, say?
Oh, no, like, he did. He was messy. He
loved being messy.
Yeah, he would call out certain businesses that, like, wouldn't serve, like, black people, and he would, like, call them out and stuff.
He'd be like, that diner over there, I saw them. Man, I'm just gonna shut up. Y'all can talking.
But, yeah, so that's one of the things that kind of, like, made him really popular and got a lot of people joining the group.
Which, I mean,
and then that's also when he renamed the church to the People's Temple, which is what it's not.
That's a lot more creative than just.
It is a lot more creative, but it's also it is very culty.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
Temple. No, it gets to, like, temples or whatever, but...
Yeah. But, like, literally, like, he was gaining just, like, more and more followers, like, every single sermon that he did.
Yeah, didn't he have, like, at the end of it, didn't he have, like, hundreds of followers?
Yeah, I think, like, at the end, I think there was, like, 900 members.
One of the biggest cults we are researching, by the way.
Yep. Huge.
Humongous, bro.
But he was, like, he was becoming very unstable during this time. He was believing in visions of nuclear war, like, a nuclear apocalypse.
That sounds really familiar to the Manson family.
Yeah, it does sound a lot similar to the Manson family.
Oh, we're going to die, and we're going to be the only ones left surviving.
Yeah. And somehow he believed that the U.S. was the safest place to be to protect his people from this. So they moved to California. One of the worst places to be, actually.
Yeah,
but he moved, like, the entire congregation to California. But he was also, like, he was really, really struggling to raise the money to get them there. And that accompanied with, what?
Let me guess. He starts taking their money.
Eventually.
Okay.
I don't know if this is exactly when. But, yeah, he does end up doing that. So he was kind of, like, with that, accompanied with the fact that, like, he was extremely unstable, some people started leaving the church, which made him realize that he did need to, like, focus more back on, like, actually working on the church. But him and, like, the remaining people did move to California. Hold on. Oh, yeah, and at this point, Brother entirely lost Christianity. The Bible had no weight in this cult anymore whatsoever.
Which, I feel like that's what most of the cults do, is they bring up the Bible and then they never mention it again.
Yeah. And, like, he would even go so far as to start, like, genuinely disrespecting the Bible, too, though.
Which is never a good thing to do, no matter what religion you are. Like...
He literally, he started referring to God as Sky God and himself as God.
That's, like, the same thing. Like, I don't know if, was he meaning it in, like, a disrespectful way, calling him Sky God?
I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think there is another way to mean it. Especially, like...
I was going to say, that's, like, the same thing with how people, like, nowadays call him Sky Daddy. Yeah. Did y'all know that?
No.
People call him Sky Daddy.
Oh. I did not know that.
It's disrespectful, first of all. One, why would you call... Sorry. It's just, that relates... I don't even know. Okay. I'm just going to shut my mouth.
You say that every time.
And then you open that mouth once again.
Well, okay, guys. I'm supposed to be talking.
But this is also when he would become a drug addict. Really into drugs, as they typically are. And then this is also when, like, kind of, like, the cult environment would, like, really start to, like, form.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, and then some of the members who, like, did work jobs would donate some of their income to the church for the benefit of the community.
Yeah, they is not donating it, he's taking it.
Yeah. But... And he also said that, like, he did take their assets. Like, before they joined, they had to, like, give everything over to him.
Yeah, see, boom, he took their money.
Yeah.
Are people just not smart?
I would never give
Is
my
their
money
judgment
to a
just
middle-aged white man.
so clouded?
Yeah.
It literally goes over their head.
But he was so controlling that he would literally control things down to, like, who they could marry.
What I read... Did he control who they had sex with?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say that, but I'm saying it.
You can, yeah.
Okay. I don't think it's a cuss word. Anyways, but yeah, no, he would control, like, who they would have sex with. He would ask for sexual favors from the married women in the cult.
What was that one cult? It was, like, the Children of God, was it?
I think.
That we did? And it was, like, he had...
Oh, yeah.
He controlled who they had sex with. He controlled, like, all that. I'm telling you.
Oh, he would also, like, make women get abortions.
Okay, perfect.
That's another thing that I read that he did.
So what I'm getting is that Jonestown was like the embodiment of, hey, guy cults in the future, this is what you should do, and gave them inspiration. Because I'm seeing a lot of like, because this was before any of the cults we just did. Mm-hmm. So I'm seeing a sense of all the other cults are taking stuff from him. Because what the flip? Okay.
No clue. But and then also like anyone who tried like at this point to like speak out against him or like rebel against him or speak ill of him or anything would get publicly humiliated, all the things. All the things. Right. Just to like really like truly keep that control over them. Sorry. Oh, also, if they did any of that, they would also get their food rations, like, lessened. So like, he would genuinely take away their food.
So they're just starving them now?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you, treating them like an abused dog?
Pretty much.
So this wasn't even a matter of, like, any type of religion, whether it was
he just wanted to have
control of people,
which is what most of the cults are.
Yeah, that's pretty much all. Control. Like pretty much all these cults are about is just wanting control.
And
I don't see the appeal.
What's the point of advertising religion and all this stuff if you're just gonna throw it
because it captures them and it gets them stuck to it?
And that's what I'm saying. It is so unbelievably easy to get people without having to kidnap them.
Yeah.
It is because they are so clouded by either their judgment or another's that they're so dependent on it in their lives, because a lot of people can't go on living life like, let's say, an atheist, like, who doesn't believe in an afterlife or doesn't believe in God. They can't live without that because they're like, why else am I here?
Yeah.
They need a purpose in life. So when they are given one, they stick so close to it that there's no way out of it. And this is clearly an example of that.
I would just like to say, like, later, like, when they did move to, and I might butcher the name of this country, Guyana, I think.
In South America.
They were, like, genuinely, like, held captive.
I also want to say about, like, how easy it is for people to join this, because if you think about it, post Great Depression, post World War II, people are holding on by a thread. Mm-hmm. They don't know what to do. They're begging for some type of relief in this grief that they're going through. People have lost their loved ones.
Which is crazy because
they don't have homes.
Around this time, a lot of people actually ended up giving up religion.
Yeah.
Because of everything that was going on.
Yeah. But then they see this, like, beacon of hope or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, I need to follow him. I need to do good. I don't have anything else.
And, like, in the beginning, like, the church was good. Like, he was
actually
preaching the Bible, and he was preaching for good things like equality.
But then again, he was taking drugs soon after. Yeah. And drugs can really mess up a person's mind. Yeah.
And he already had, like, the building blocks for cult leader. But also during this time, some, like, articles were coming out of, like, calling him out because of, like, the physically and mentally abusive behaviors happening. And there were a few investigations opened up against the cult. Yeah. And that's when he kind of started to believe that the U.S. was, in fact, not the safest place for them to be. And yeah. And also, I would like to say that the articles and all that did get some of the members to thankfully leave the church.
Which I'm glad, because knowing what happens in the future puts a little ease on my mind that some people actually got out of that.
But unfortunately, and I did see two contradicting numbers. So I saw that it was a few hundred people that followed him to Guyana, and then I saw that it was like 50 plus that followed him to Guyana. So I'm not entirely sure, but it's one of those two.
Either way,
I saw two contradicting things, so I just wanted to add both of them. Yeah. But so that's when they decided to move to Guyana in South America and start their new cult there.
It's called, like, Jonestown.
Yeah, it was a few so Georgetown is the capital of Guyana, and then I think they were like a few miles away from Georgetown, and that's where they started Jonestown.
Actually, never mind.
Okay.
I was gonna say something, but I'll do it later.
So while in Jonestown, they obviously like they got a lot of new members. I think if like the number wasn't already the same,
So
because
he's just taking people from everywhere.
yeah. But hold on, sorry, I'm reading this so I make sure I have all my things straight. So yeah, in the new compound, I think at like within the first few months they had around like 600 people, and then like more and more were coming in like within the following months. But he would force the people to watch like communist propaganda, and he would like make them watch documentaries about like the failures of like the American dream, which the American dream was like huge at this point too, because it was like right after World War II. The American dream exploded in the 50s. I do think that this was like almost the 70s at this point, which makes sense because like hippies and like civil rights, women's rights, and all that. So basically he was just trying to make the U.S. look like a huge big villain, pretty much, to all the people who left the U.S. to come with him.
Yeah.
And basically just like, he would also, hold on, before I get into that. So they did not have a lot of like housing and like infrastructure. So he would employ the people of the the people of the compound to build the housing and all of that. So they would spend, I think it was like 6 hours a day from like 6:30 in the morning to like 6 in the afternoon working for, I'm pretty sure, no pay whatsoever.
Yeah, sounds pretty right.
But crazy part, he was kind of like in the middle of like transferring his funds that he had in the U.S. to an account in Guyana. He had about $10 million in his account in the U.S., which I did the math. With inflation, today, that's around $53 million.
He'd literally be up at the top near, like, oh my god, who are the richest people in the world right now?
Would not be close to that.
I know, but he'd be, like, pretty much under
He would be pretty rich, but
yeah. 53 million is
53 million. I think the two numbers I saw, because I did it on multiple different things, it was either between like 53 or like 55 million in today's world. Which, I mean, it's still a lot, but it's like that was like kind of the range that I got. Somewhere in between there. Insane amount of money. Oh yeah, no, I have it written down. The work was not paid. It was not paid work.
Okay, perfect.
So, and like literally it was basically like, oh, well, you're working and I'm giving you housing and food, except
so that's all you need.
They're building the housing and they're making the food.
Yeah.
You're not giving them anything, actually.
You make the houses, you make all of this. I'm going to keep the money.
Yeah.
You ain't get no money.
And then I also read somewhere that he adopted, or like he kind of believed, and I don't really know where this comes from, but it's like the 8 hours of work, 8 hours of study, which I think basically just means like 8 hours of like practicing your religion, which is, I guess, when he would make them watch the propaganda and like documentaries and all that. And when when he would preach heavily against America, like the people's relatives who were like actively trying to get them to come back. And that's what I was going to get into earlier. Oh, also, he was like him preaching was the only way that they got news as well. So,
I mean, yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
The boonies, like.
But yeah, so he definitely, like, he would paint the U.S. as, like, an imperialist, capitalist kind of villain, basically. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm sorry, I'm popping my knuckles.
Okay.
But this is when he would start controlling their communication with the outside world. like their letters were like that were coming in and out were censored and looked over before they were either sent out or given to the people that they were intended for. Phone calls were monitored or sometimes even like just straight up scripted.
I'm really not trying to make this like political in any way, but that's like giving like, what is it, North Korea? That's like Kim Jong-un?
Maybe, I think so.
Guys, I don't know.
We're gonna sound really dumb if that's wrong.
Girl, we already sound dumb.
We do. Anyways. But yeah, that just kind of goes to show like how much control he craved over the people in his compound. One thing he also liked to do was do these things called white nights, which are basically just huge, I guess, obedience, like loyalty tests, but like suicide mock runs, like mass suicide mock runs.
So hinting at the future.
Hinting at what it would be later, because like it literally like basically what he said when like when they did commit the mass suicide, it was like we're just doing the mock runs for real this time. But basically he would tell everyone to drink this like concoction and that it had poison in it.
And in fact did not have poison in it.
It did not have poison in it. Yeah. And it was like basically like if you're loyal to me and to these people, you'll drink it.
And you would die for me.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And then also around this time, he got armed security guards to protect himself.
So, if you're in the middle of nowhere and you trust your people, why would you need security guards?
Yeah.
I think there was something bigger going on, which you can...
No, there was.
You could clearly tell from Future. Gonna get into that later, but...
Yeah. But, they weren't just to keep people out. They were also to keep people in.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
So they can't run away.
Yeah. But, so there was this group created by all of the, like, family members of the people who were now in Guyana, and they were called the Concerned Relatives. But they were like actively trying to get like the U.S. government to do an investigation into them. And
I'm glad there's people outside of the cult like, hey,
they were trying really hard, and there were also some members who left the cult who were also part of the group that were also heavily pushing for it. Like I can't remember his name right now, but it's an attorney that was like played a very big part in getting them to Guyana, but he ended up leaving, and he played a huge role.
I am so glad, so glad that there were people who left the cult before they went to South America. So glad.
Yeah. And then there also like when like that kind of like final few days, there were people who were able to like deflect, I guess, but I'll get into that later because it gets really chaotic. But eventually they did in fact open up an investigation, so the U.S. government did get involved, and that's where our good man Congressman Leo Ryan comes into play. Yes. Him and a group of people, it was a large group of people. It was like there was I think her name is Jackie Spear, which I think was his like legal advisor, and then there was like a bunch of other people, like people who were part of the Concerned Relatives group. There were photographers, reporters, a bunch of people went, and they were trying to get like to the bottom of what was going on.
And this is actually why we have so many photos.
Yeah.
Of the actual group.
And I'll get into that in a minute.
Okay. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So they go to Guyana. I think they like originally arrived in Georgetown.
Yes. AKA Jonestown.
Yeah. And then they kind of like made their way to Jonestown. And there was like this airstrip at Port Katuma. I might be butchering that. I really hope not. And they like took like a little plane over there, I think. Or no, that's where they landed, and then they drove to Jonestown. There we go. I'm there.
Big brain.
And then, so they arrive in Jonestown, and originally, they weren't allowed in. They were not allowed in. And then,
Well, clearly.
yeah, and then Congressman Leo Ryan was like, we're coming whether you let us in or not.
Like, we can blow this place up right now if we wanted to.
I don't know if they do that, because they're trying, like, I'm trying to rescue these people. But,
they'd do anything.
Yeah. So, anyways, they get there, and then, like, they're finally, like, allowed in, and, like, I think originally it was just Leo Ryan and, like, a few other people that were allowed in, and then everyone else kind of had to find somewhere else to stay, like, that first night. And then, but the next night, I believe, is when everyone was allowed in, and that's where we get a lot of the videos of the night. And these videos are so eerie, too, because it's, like, it's genuinely just people having fun.
Which I actually did not know they had videos. I knew about the photos, did not know about the videos. I'm definitely going to have to go. Michaela, you're forming a thought.
No, it's just, I've heard that sentence before in an earlier episode.
I have said this in an early episode. I didn't, because I genuinely only look at the photos. I don't look at videos. I don't know that they have videos, because when I think of cults in the past, I think, oh, no technology.
No,
I think of,
literally.
like, the Stone Age.
Guys.
So I don't think they have, like, fully functional videos for some reason, even though we have movies.
Yeah, literal movies.
From the time.
Yeah.
The time.
That time. I will be checking out the videos because I actually want to see them.
But, so they were, like, getting the videos, and, like, like, in these videos, it's just people having fun. It's just people dancing.
Which is so
But
scary.
I do think that some of them were kind of, like, playing it up, like, because they were
show that-
afraid of getting in trouble.
Just show that, hey, nothing's wrong, but actually everything's wrong and we need help.
Yeah. And then, so there's actually a video of Congressman Leo Ryan, like, addressing the compound and being like, from what I've encountered and everyone I've spoken to, these people here, like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. This place is the best thing that's ever happened. He straight up says that. I mean, not, like, direct quote, but, like, along those lines. But.
Sorry, can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
That is so scary because if what you're about to say next didn't happen and he just left, who knows how long that would have kept going on.
Yeah.
And that's just so scary to think about.
And honestly, because of what happens, what I'm about to talk about, I do think is kind of is literally what got them to where everyone ended up.
Yeah.
So basically, a few members of the compound, one man that I did get the name of was Vernon Gosney. He did make it out. He's still alive today. I found, like, a few videos of him. Or he might have passed away by this point, but
I mean,
he made it out, and he made it to old age. But him and a few other members passed a note to Congressman Leo Ryan begging for help, like, to escape. But one of the children of the compound saw this and reported it to one of the loyalist members.
Too bad I would have.
So the next day, they basically, like, were like, hey, whoever wants to leave, y'all come with us, pretty much.
Yeah.
So everyone who was leaving the cult loaded up into this truck, and then Leo Ryan and Jackie Spear actually stayed back for a little bit so that they could process anybody else who decided that they wanted to leave before they left and went back to the airstrip for them to get out of there. So, one thing... Hold on. That's not the right page.
That's not the right page.
There we go.
Perfect.
There we go, guys. So, and one thing that breaks my heart is that the people who left, if they had kids, were forced to leave their children. Like, the guy I spoke about earlier, Vernon Gosney, he had to sign a paper saying that he was leaving his 4-year-old son there of his own will because they literally wouldn't let him take him.
Why? They're just like, oh, yeah, you kids are going to just die here. Sorry.
Yeah. And the thing that happens on the airstrip, I think, is kind of like the main thing that caused the mass suicide.
Yeah.
And I'm about to get to that. So, they make it to the airstrip, okay? And then, before I even talk about that, a man tried to attack Leo Ryan with a knife after, like, everybody else left to go to the planes.
Our confusion.
Like someone from the compound before he was, like, kind of tackled to the ground and they got the knife away from him. And then Leo Gosling and Jackie Spear got out of there. I was about to say something else. So they got out of there. They get to the airstrip. There are now 2 planes. Originally, there was only 1 plane, but it did not fit all of the extra passengers, so they had to call a second plane.
That's how many people wanted to leave.
Like, I think there was additional either 15 or 19 people that left. Which is honestly kind of insane to me that, like, out of how many members there were, those are the only people who felt comfortable leaving.
And the fact that they had to leave their kids, who, if what happened...
Honestly, that might have been one of the things that kept a lot of people there, is they didn't want to leave their kids.
Yeah. But it's the fact that there's people that did leave, and then the mass suicide happened. If the mass suicide didn't happen and they grew up in that environment...
Yeah. But, so they were loading the planes, and a group of, like, some people from the compound pulled up in trucks and opened fire on the group that was trying to get onto the 2 planes. And, like, and then there was also, hold on, I have his name written down, but there's a huge glare on here and I can't see.
Yeah,
Sorry, that was...
Am I blocking you?
Okay, so Vernon Gosney was seated next to this man named Larry Layton. They were on one of the planes as, like, everything outside was kind of happening, and then Larry Layton pulls out a handgun and starts shooting people on the plane.
So he was like an inside spy, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. He was posing as one of the deflectors, and he was not, in fact. And then, so I think that Vernon Gosney ended up getting shot, like, twice, but luckily he lived. But a lot of the people on the airstrip did not. Like,
and the fact that their children are still there.
Yeah. And so some of the people who died was Congressman Leo Ryan. He, I believe, was shot 20 times. Yeah. And then, hold on, I do have some of the people listed who passed in the shooting. Hold on.
Somewhere up there.
So, one of the men, Bobby Brown, was a cameraman, and he actually was recording when they pulled up. So he recorded basically the entire attack.
Now,
and he was one of the ones that was killed.
Can we still find the footage? Not that
I believe so. I don't know how you would find it, but like I think you can find it.
Dig deep enough.
X. I can bet you it's on X.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, girl, I was like, what's on X?
What's X?
What's X?
Guys,
I forget it's Twitter.
It's named X now.
Yeah. And then Don Harris was also killed, and I believe he was a reporter that came with them.
They were just shooting all the reporters.
Greg Robinson and Congressman
I
Ryan.
bet they were like mostly targeting reporters so the information.
I'm pretty sure that they were. And then, so as all of that was happening, and then I also believe Jackie Spear was also shot, but she lived. I'm fairly certain.
We'll have pictures, not of the shooting or anything.
No. But like of the people. And then if like with Jackie Spear, I will also like clarify if I'm fairly certain she lived. But hold on.
We're getting to the last bit, guys. I
am. I just need to like make sure I have. Okay, so yeah, nine other people were injured, including Jackie Spear. So she did live. But so the pilot of one of the planes and the pilot and co-pilot of the other plane and literally one of the deflectors all got on one of the planes and just left.
And just took off.
And like the people who were injured were just left there, but they were rescued later. So,
which is so crazy to me because imagine being one of the people that got shot but survived, and you just have to sit there.
Watch the plane leave,
sitting there with dead bodies, and you're injured. Yeah. Imagine how like scared they were. Like, oh my God, I'm being left on this island, or not island, like this
in this country that I don't know.
I don't know. I'm with a cult. I'm surrounded by dead people. The fear they might have had. is crazy.
But I do have the woman's name that they left with, which was one of the people who, it was Monica Bagby, and she was one of the deflectors she was the deflector that was on the plane with them when they left. So the 4 of them got out of there, and then luckily the 9 who were just injured were later rescued. And this is the big part. So
this is the most known part.
Yeah.
Of Jonestown.
So basically, after all of that happened on the airstrip, Jim Jones goes on this like 45 or 44 minute long tangent, and there's like, it's recorded, like you can find the audio still, of him just like ranting. And he starts talking about like the fact that like the plane is gonna go down, because I think knew that Larry Layton was on the plane, and he thought that he was gonna let the plane take off and then shoot everybody on the plane. I think that he knew that, and that's how he thought it was gonna go down. I don't think Jones knew about the second plane.
Yeah. So,
just adding that in there. So he thought that everybody who left was gonna be dead.
Mm-mm.
Everybody.
They survived.
So this is when he got some of his members to prepare a large tub of Kool-Aid.
This is where the famous line, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid," comes from.
And just like to fill it with cyanide as well. And then so he gathered his 900 members, and they, after this 45-minute long tangent, he makes all of them drink the Kool-Aid. And it's so eerie, like, if you listen to the audio, because I heard, like, the last bit of it, and, like, I think it's the last, like, couple minutes is just, like, silence, but, like, slight, like, low music playing.
And cyanide poisoning is not an easy death.
No.
Absolutely not. And the fact that children were forced to drink this.
Yeah. And then, so some of the people chose to drink the Kool-Aid. And honestly, I'm just thinking about the fact that, like, they could have very well thought that this was just another white night. They could have assumed that, like, it's not real this time. Like, this time either.
They had the effects of the cyanide.
Because also, they had no idea of what happened on the airstrip. They didn't know. So, like, I can only imagine that they assumed that, like, they were just having one of these drills again until some of the people, like, the first people who drank it started dying.
Died.
And that's when a lot of them started running into the woods, and then, like, they would be shot by the security people.
Which is what we mentioned earlier about how he probably set it up for bigger plans. Like, he was planning this all along.
Yeah.
Maybe not at that exact moment, but, like, maybe in the future.
Yeah.
There are pictures showing all of the corpses around the place. We're not going to include them because you can look them up.
But just know there are pictures
of dead bodies and children's bodies.
Yeah. And I also would like to add that of the 900 people, I think it was like 200 or more were children.
Yeah. And half of those children didn't have their parents with them.
Yeah.
Not half, more like less than half.
Definitely less than half.
Yeah. Way less than half. I didn't have their
Because I think
children.
only like 15 to 19 people left out of like 900.
They didn't have nobody to tell them what to do. They either saw people dropping or they saw people running.
Yeah.
A little kid can't comprehend what was going on.
No.
And that is so sad to think about.
And one of the things that angers me the most is, of course, Jim Jones himself didn't drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh, goodness, no, not him.
No. He died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Because he chose the easy way out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and that is Jonestown.
That comes to conclusion of Jonestown.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
Does anyone know, like, what happened to the security guards after everything? Like, did they get locked up?
I don't know.
Okay, we can make some theories.
Some of them might
have died.
They might have. And then some of them also might have just been members of the cult that he kind of, like, made security. I'm not entirely sure what the deal with the security guards was.
Yeah.
I don't think, honestly, maybe they just did it for money. I mean, were they being paid? They probably were being paid.
I have no clue. I did not look into that.
My theory is people either tried to attack them to try and escape because weren't there a few survivors? Or except the ones on the plane.
I don't think anyone who was at the camp survived.
Okay, so I don't think the guards were attacked.
But
I'm
like,
not trying to laugh
I'm
at a
also-
moment like this, but I'm just saying.
I kind of want to look into that because like there's so many things that like they could have been hired or they could have just been members
Like untrained members.
who were given guns and then like who may have also killed themselves.
Because I feel like
Or
if
who
you're
just
trying
like
to
left.
keep this a secret, you can't hire people.
Hire security.
Like,
I
and
don't
they
know.
wouldn't even let in people from the Congress. So why would they let in security?
Yeah.
They're members of the law.
I don't know. I'll need to look into that.
Actually, homework for everyone.
Yeah.
Look it
homework,
up.
Go look it up.
Figure out your own theory. Do some research.
Put it in the comments. Let me know.
Make a whole essay about it.
Give
something.
us a history lesson. We just
Yeah.
gave you this one. Give us one.
That was Jonestown. We hope you liked listening to us rant and suck at reading. Not you didn't suck. You didn't suck at reading this. I promise.
I suck at my job, guys.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Is that it? Do you got it?